Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Let's start our evening with a prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great masters, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Laidima Shaya, Swami Sri Yukteswarji, beloved Guru Deva, Paramhansa Yogananda ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. Help us to uplift ourselves and open ourselves to receive thee fully through music and chanting. Bless our satsang. Om Shanti Shanti. I'd like to start with Hymn to Brahma from playing the Tanpuri. Don't you know some? Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmaya Shri Gurave Namaha. Brahmanandam Paramasukara Kevalam Jnanam Nandvati Tam Jaganasadvisham Tattvamasyadi Ekam Nityam Vimalamachala Sarvade Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunaitam Satyam Namami. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to start with a couple of wonderful quotes on tonight's topic, the healing through chanting. This is from the internet. To keep your brain engaged through the aging process, listening to or playing music is a great tool. It provides a total brain workout. Research has shown that listening to music can reduce anxiety, blood pressure, and pain, as well as improve sleep quality, mood, mental alertness, and memory. Playing a musical instrument is the brain equivalent of a full body workout. Unlike other brain training activities like chess, playing an instrument recruits almost every part of the brain, including regions that process vision, sound, movement, and memory. And I was just looking earlier at a very interesting article on the news where there was a young woman getting a brain surgery, and she was awake. They wanted her to be awake. They wanted to make sure that that she was still responding positively to the surgery, and she wanted to sing. So they had her singing. They had her singing certain songs. You can Google it and see for yourself. And she liked singing the Moana film songs the best. But what was so wonderful is she said she just enjoyed it so much. Now, what did she enjoy? She probably enjoyed that she could feel energy, feel vibrations, feel happy, feel comfort from singing. And so this is something that if we need to keep it in mind, that I'll go into this more a little later, but Master said chanting's half the battle. Half the battle of feeling uplifted, half the battle of being able to meditate, half the battle of getting out of a mood swing, getting out of anger or fear or worry or doubts is half the battle. It just moves your energy up to the heart. Then when you meditate, you bring it up to the spiritual eye. I remember when my grandmother passed away many decades back, I was serving in Italy. I was very close to her and I couldn't go back for the funeral. And I was very sad. I cried and cried for days. And then we did the astral ascension ceremony. That was a big help, but also just chanting. At that time and other times when people close to me passed away, chanting really, more than talking to people, more than meditating, more than anything, really healed my heart and calmed my emotions and helped me to feel a greater attunement and contact with God. And so we need to use chanting as a tool. Master had people chanting an hour and a half at Carnegie Hall, and many people were healed of different ailments, of diseases, possibly, I don't know, though, everything, but people were surely healed during that evening of chanting. And Master told Swamiji that you must get devotion. You must open your heart. And this is what chanting does. I'm playing now several new instruments. This is the tanpuri, but I have a big tanpura. Swamiji had that years ago when we were in the US. No one knew what it was, but we liked the sound of it. So I got one of those, and I got another instrument that Master played, the Esraj. And I'm telling you, it just really deepens. It gets rid of whatever emotional strains you're under, tensions, stresses of the day, opens you up to a deeper level of contact with God. That's just the fact of it. And so Master told Swamiji, you have to get devotion. Swamiji bought a harmonium. He started chanting. Of course, he prayed for devotion, but he really was able to go deeper from chanting. I was remembering Master had had Durga Mata playing the big drum. I don't know which one it was, but he trained her. And so she would play at the kirtans and whatever chanting they had. I don't know if they ever had a kirtan, but they had chanting. And then Swamiji said Dr. Lewis didn't really like it because, he didn't like the drumming. He was very conservative. And Master said, Doctor, get into it. It releases, breaks up the karma and the spine. And we know that the kirtals, the bells and the gong, they open up the heart. The strings, the violin, I'm telling you, the Esraj is very deep in working with the energy in the heart. And so is the tanpura, many of the other stringed instruments. Swamiji said they work with the heart. I remember also a very sweet story of Kamala Silva. She stayed at Ananda village for some years, and she had many health challenges, but we would go over, and the way we spent time with her, we would go chant. And she was just so blissful with the chanting. And I remember once she said, stop. She said, this chant will draw Master. And what happens when we chant? The masters come, they chant with us. We draw their presence. We draw the presence of God. We draw the presence of Divine Mother. And Swamiji, he wrote 400 pieces of music. Now, why did he write those? Not for himself. He wrote them for us, for our own upliftment, for uplifting our consciousness, for keeping our consciousness uplifted. We can play it in the car. We can play it on our headset. We can play it on the way to work. We can play it when we get home. We can play it for the kids to quiet them down. We can play it when there's a discussion of an argument around in the house or whatever. That's part of Swamiji's legacy. And he said that he attuned every song that he wrote to Om. the highest vibration. He would feel that vibration of Om, and he would tune the music. So I remember he was so blissful when he wrote music. It was another era in Ananda. And he would come in, he said, I have a new chant. Let's chant this right now. And we would all chant it, or I have a new song. Here, you sing this part, you sing this part, you sing that part. And singing was a part of, it is a part of our path. And I never thought singing was the big thing. But as soon as I got to Ananda, people were playing harmonium, they were playing tabla, various instruments. And Swamiji wanted you to sing. If you could sing at all. I remember he came up to me one day, and I didn't think I could sing, but I love singing. And he said, do you sing? Can you sing? I said, I don't think so. And he says, you get in the choir. He wanted you to get in the choir and start singing. Why? He didn't need me in the choir. I needed to sing. And in Italy, we were chanting there. We chanted our hearts out. He brought in the guitar chanting in Italy, because we were just on the harmonium, and the Italian devotees were kind of falling asleep a little bit with that. And Swamiji said, let's bring in the guitar. That's how the guitar got into Ananda chanting. Then he brought it back to America. We would be chanting our hearts out for hours and hours. And then there would be these short meditations. And I said to Swamiji, we hardly meditated. We just chant all the time. He said, you need to chant. And that's the thing. We need to chant. The chants Master wrote, the chants Swamiji wrote, is not for them. It's for us, to uplift our consciousness and to keep us attuned. And especially in hard times, you have a difficult time, do a chant, play the chants, listen to them, chant them yourself, get an instrument. I think anybody who can play at all, and Swamiji said to the acharyas, he said, play your own chants for your songs, for your classes and satsangs. And I know a couple of people, they didn't know one note from another, but Swamiji said, don't drag in somebody else to play the chant you learn. And so people who don't even know music have learned. So there's no excuse. I can't sing, I don't sing. Just sing with the door closed. Nobody will bother you. And then Swamiji, before every class, he would pray, do a chant, every class. And then he'd have a song every time. Because he could feel people needed to open up to receive the message that he had. So it was always prayer, chant. He would do a chant, and then have the choir come. Many times he would sing with the choir. And singing, hearing Swamiji sing was just astral. I mean, it just would take you to another dimension. And chanting does take you beyond the problems into deep meditation. And these musical instruments take you beyond the thoughts, beyond the restlessness, beyond the worries and fears, and they take you up into another sphere, deep in the spine, through the chakras. I can feel it when I'm meditating now, much deeper. I play in the morning and I play in the evening with meditation. And then when you get the energy up here, you can lift it up easily up to the spiritual eye. Last thing I'll say is that there was a woman who came to Ananda village, and she had this sound machine, and it emanated, it was a box, and it emanated different vibrations, frequencies that made different sounds. And so she stayed for a couple of weeks, and you would sit with her, and she had a frequency which would work on some emotions. Then the person would sit by that box, and then there was another person needed healing from various things, headaches or whatever. And she would turn the frequency, and they turn the frequency, turn the frequency. And many people saw her. She was a wonderful person. But you know what she said at the end of her visit, after being at Ananda for that long and hearing the choir and hearing the chanting? She said, why don't you just play and listen to and sing your own music? She was basically saying, you have your own sound box. Why do you need this machine? You're already doing it. So I'll leave you all with that. We have our own music. And remember, Master chanted his chants until he got a divine response. He impregnated them with the power of God, so that we can he opened the door and said, if you chant this, you can walk through and have that experience yourself. Let's close with just a moment of silence. visualizing the light of God, the music of Swamiji and Master, just reverberating all around the world, creating peace and light, bringing the presence of God to earth. Anytime you chant, feel you're bringing the presence of God and gurus to heal difficulties in your own life, those who you know, and for all the world. Let's rub our hands. And as we chant Om, feel this vibration. Don't just say it, chant it out. Feel it going out and sending a healing vibration out into the world. Om. 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 Shanti, shanti, shanti. God bless you all. I'll turn it back over.